Hi, I'm Rick Ringer, Professor of Management in the College of Business at Illinois State University and coordinator of the Graduate Certificate in Organizational Leadership. I'd like to take just a few minutes in this presentation to share with you background about the program, a description of the courses, the course of study, and then a number of admissions-related items regarding the program. At the end, I will share my contact information for any of you who have additional questions, or if there's anything that I have not clarified appropriately, you'll have the opportunity to reach out to me and get your questions answered or get the clarification that you need. So to begin, let's do a screen share, and we will discuss this. The Graduate Certificate in Organizational Leadership is relatively new. In fact, we are just beginning this is the first time we've offered the program. It went through a major revision, something that we're very proud of, something that we think adds a tremendous amount of value for those of you who have an interest in leadership or are looking at opportunities to increase your leadership capability, become a better leader, so to speak. It really is open to anyone who has an interest in leadership, both personally or professionally, but is probably best designed for professionals who are looking for a more intensive leadership development experience. These are academic courses, they're challenging, and they are rigorous, and they are designed to not only increase our understanding of leadership, but to ensure that that understanding contributes to leadership development and your ability to be a more effective leader, to be a better leader. All the courses are MBA courses. Therefore, if you're in the program, you'll be taking classes with our MBA students. Obviously, because of that, these courses would count for credit toward the MBA program, the MBA degree at Illinois State University, if you were to choose to do that. If you were to choose to earn your MBA at another institution, it's probable that these courses, at least some of them, would transfer, but it's not guaranteed. That would be a question that I cannot answer. It would have to be answered by the other university, but I can answer the question. If you were to choose to complete your MBA at Illinois State University, these courses would transfer completely. The certificate consists of 12 academic hours, 4 courses that are 3 academic hours each. You can begin spring, summer, or fall. I'll highlight the spring and fall. If you are interested in a summer start, because of the unique nature of a summer start, I would suggest that you contact me directly and we can chat about what that means, what the issues are. You can complete this program in 1 academic year. If you would like to take 2 academic years, you can do that as well. But it does allow you to finish in 1 academic year, the exception being if you start in the summer, it would be a somewhat different sequence. The coursework consists of 2 required courses, MBA 421, which is the Foundational Organizational Behavior course, MQM 482, which is the Principles Basic Organizational Leadership course. Those 2 are required. You must take those 2. You would then select two electives from the following 3. MQM 440, a negotiations class, MQM 483, applied organizational leadership, more advanced discussion, and then MQM 484, which is a class on how leaders create and maintain high-performance cultures, high-performance organizations. Let's talk about each of these courses. MBA 421, the Basic Organizational Behavior course, exactly as it's described. This is the course on understanding basic human behavior in an organization, personality, motivation, conflict resolution, interpersonal relationships, perspective, a little bit on personality normally. Some on leadership is a nice introductory discussion of leadership. But really understanding why people behave the way they do in an organizational setting. MQM 482, organizational leadership. This is the foundation principles class in leadership at the graduate level in the college. This is understanding the impact of leadership in organizations. This is understanding, what the definition really is of leadership. What do we mean by leadership? And this is really looking at the various approaches, various ways we have of understanding leadership and what makes effective leaders. The 3 electives. Dynamics of negotiation, probably an underappreciated aspect of understanding leadership. This is how leaders get things done in many ways, how we have to negotiate internally to win support, win resources, collaborate effectively across the organization to get things done, to solve problems in organizations. MQM 483 are applied organizational leadership. These are more advanced topics. Leadership and change, leadership and culture, leadership in a team setting. Cross-cultural leadership is often a part of this. So more advanced topics from MQM 482. MQM 484, building high-performance organizations. This is really understanding what are the characteristics of high-performance organizations? What do they have in common? Firms that continually outperform in their industry, outperform their competing comparative firms, and then looking at the role of leaders in creating those types of environments. If you choose to complete this program, as I mentioned, in one academic year, two semesters, you have a couple of options. You can start in the fall, as I mentioned. If you did that, you would start with MBA 421, the organizational behavior, and then you would also take MQM 482, the organizational leadership class. MBA 421 is always going to be in your first semester, no matter what you do. So just be aware of that. So if you start in the fall, you're going to take 421 and 482. Then in the spring, you would take 440, MQM 440, the negotiations class, and MQM 483, the applied organizational leadership, the more advanced leadership topics class. If you start in the spring, again, you would start with MBA 421, but you would then take MQM 440, the dynamics of negotiation. In the fall, you would take MQM 482 along with MQM 484. So that's the one academic year, either the fall or the spring start. If you decide that you would want to do this in 2 academic years, if you were to start in the fall, it would look like this. Again, you would start with MQM 421, the basic OB class, that's just required. You would then go into the spring and take MQM 440, the dynamics of negotiation. The following fall, you would take MQM 482, the principles of leadership. And then in this following spring, your final semester, you would take MQM 483, applied organizational leadership. That's a fall start, 2 academic years. A spring admission over 2 academic years, a little bit different and a little bit more flexibility, and that's because of the sequence of electives when they're offered. Some courses we can only offer once a semester or once an academic year, and so a spring start actually provides a little bit more flexibility. You would, again, in your first spring, you would start with MBA 421, organizational behavior. The following fall, you would have 2 choices between 482 or 484. The following spring, again, you would have 2 choices, 440, negotiations, or 483, applied organizational leadership. Note that you can only take this one if you had 482 in the fall. That is a hard prerequisite. To take 483, you must have had 482 first. The last semester, your fall semester, you would choose between either 482 or 484, depending on which class you didn't take in your first fall. Keeping in mind that this one is required. You have to take this one at some point in your program. All of our courses are taught traditionally in an evening format, in a blended format, we call it, with 90-minute face-to-face classes and the remainder of our coursework being done online in a virtual setting. However, due to COVID-19, we are doing everything in a virtual format, just because that's the constraints that we're facing at this point. Everything is offered via Zoom. Some of it is synchronous, some of it is asynchronous, but that's where we are right now. And hopefully, spring of 2021, we'll be through this. And in the fall of 2021, we will return to our more traditional face-to-face blended format with the 90-minute face-to-face and the rest of the class conducted online. As far as admissions, these are the deadlines for spring and fall. December the 1st for a spring admission, July 1st for a fall admission. If you're interested in the summer, again, I would suggest that you contact me and we can chat about that specifically. Admissions requirements: a current resume, including professional highlights and accomplishments, at least 1 year of relevant experience, a statement of purpose, and 2 letters of recommendation, one of which must be from your current or your most recently immediately past employment. We found that that's really helpful in making good admissions decisions. If you have any questions, please contact me. This is my email address. Feel free to reach out to me. This is my office phone number. You may call me in my office if that's a preference that you have. Feel free to contact me regarding this. We will, and I will work to answer any questions that you might have about the program. Thank you for your time. I hope we've answered the questions that you have. And if you have any additional questions, again, please feel free to contact me. Thank you.